Population growth in Japan is going to be a bit more modest when compared to China. In China, during this period, we basically saw the population triple or more during the early modern era. In Japan, overall, the population is going to double, and it was a little more modest because they didn't benefit from the American crops the same way China did. During this time, with population growth, we're also going to see an increase in urbanization, and gradually some of these old castle towns are going to expand and become larger cities. Tokyo, or Edo as it was called at the time, the capital, is going to begin to develop some basic industries. They're going to begin to manufacture carpentry and stonemasonry and things like that. And they also benefited from the American silver as well. American silver is going to make its way to East Asian markets. And as they traded with China, some of that silver is going to make its way into Japan's economy as well. So at the very beginning of this era, Confucianism, which was already in Japan, we're going to see it grow again because Confucianism kind of helped reestablish order and reinforce the shogun's power. But as time progressed, Japan wanted to emphasize their own culture. And so that's going to lead to the growth of the School of National Learning. And the School of National Learning focused on traditional Chinese culture and wanted to establish their own Japanese identity. And so Shinto was emphasized as the native religion. We see Japanese Buddhism, variants from China, spread. So, for example, Zen Buddhism was the most popular form of Buddhism in Japan, and that focuses on meditation. And through this meditation, you can achieve these kind of brief flashes of enlightenment. We're also going to see one of the few outside influences allowed into Japan was the Dutch. The Dutch, remember, they were allowed to continue to trade once a year at Nagasaki. And so some European medicine and science would make its way into Japan through the Dutch. We're also going to see a growth of their urban centers, or these floating worlds. And this included the cities where you would have tea houses and theaters and public baths. Poets and novelists were encouraged to help spread Japanese culture as well. We're going to see kabuki theater and puppet theater become very popular during this time period. In fact, one of the more favored themes was the love-suicide theme. And in fact, it became so popular, they actually had to ban love-suicide stories because so many people were copying these stories and committing suicide in real life. We're also going to see the importance of the tea ceremony and the practice of martial arts spread. So when it comes to Christianity in Japan, again, initially, the Christians were allowed into Japan. They were seen as a counterbalance to the Buddhists. And the Jesuits came and they were pretty successful in converting some upper level samurai and daimyo families. And that was kind of their approach, was the top down. If they could convert the daimyo, then that would help convert the rest of the population. And so many converted to Christianity to give them a better relationship with these Europeans. Some even adopted some European culture as well. But then once Japan was brought under the Tokugawa shogunate, Christianity was banned. And again, the Christian missionaries were forced out. People were forced to convert back to Shinto. Those that didn't were executed. And so tens of thousands of Christians were killed in Japan. And at that point on, Christianity kind of became a very small underground faith.